Facebook, YouTube and Twitter struggle with viral pandemic conspiracy video. Facebook, YouTube and other social networks are struggling to remove a viral video that includes various conspiracy theories about the coronavirus pandemic, highlighting the challenges that come with moderating dangerous content online. The nearly 26-minute video is part of a series of clips being released ahead of a documentary called Pandemic that the filmmakers say will expose the scientific and political elite who run the scam that is our global health system. It includes claims that have been debunked and makes other allegations without evidence. Facebook, Twitter and Google-owned YouTube are taking steps to remove the video or reduce its spread, the company said. But despite these efforts, pandemic videos continue to pop up. Some Facebook users were sharing the video in public groups but linking to other sites that aren't as well known as YouTube, or to the documentary's website. Two simple searches on YouTube on Friday morning found 9 copies of the video, with a combined 295,000 views. After CNET contacted YouTube with links to the copies, all but one were removed for violating community guidelines. Of the 9 copies, the one that remained up is a reaction video, underscoring the complications platforms like YouTube face moderating posts that contain conspiracy theories. YouTube's policies allow some videos citing conspiracy theories to remain up if the purpose of the clips is to debunk misinformation.
Dear friends, welcome to watch our channel Homebizbillionair.
Dear friends, welcome to watch our channel Homebizbillionair.
Big tech companies, as millions of people around the country and world continue to self-isolate, big tech companies are working to curb the spread of disinformation online. In some extreme cases, you've got these websites, Facebook, for instance, that have come under fire for not only allowing false information to spread on their platform, but for having been accused of providing a platform for people to plan and organize anti-quarantine protests. I want to bring in CNET senior producer Dan Patterson, who joins us now. So Dan, these companies like Facebook and Google, they've told us over and over again they're improving their fact-checking services across the network. Why are we still seeing such a problem with disinformation?
Hey, it's good to see you, Rena. So there could be a few factors at play here. One is that, look, for every crisis, sadly, there are cynics that will exploit a crisis for their own financial gain. And social media, whether we love it or hate it, is just an information distribution vector. So we will see a larger or an increase in what we call threat actors, or just bad guys, distributing malware and other forms of malicious activity across social networks, no matter what the crisis is. But particularly with this crisis, we're seeing some really interesting activity, including state-sponsored, what we call attacks. So from China, we have seen this, what we call a mixed media attack. So they use state-sponsored media to kind of change the message. When I say state media, I mean, for example, here in the United States, that might be Voice of America. So we see Chinese state media reframing the COVID-19 crisis around the United States, what they call a failure to act, and away from their own government's responsibility. Then we see social media at play on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, and other mainstream sites that not only shifts the narrative, but attacks those who are reporting on or talking about facts. So we mean healthcare workers, political leaders, journalists, nonprofit leaders. These people are being attacked by some of these Chinese-linked trolls. And we do have some pretty good data on this coming from an organization called Recorded Future that literally records the entire internet, and then they trace IP addresses and other fingerprint data back to their source.
So another avenue is Reddit. It's also very popular when you forum to post and spread conspiracy theories as well. I know, Dan, you've been looking into this. What have you found?
So Reddit is a social network that is kind of like all of the comments, very little content, but all of the comments. In fact, there's actually very good user-generated content on Reddit. And one sharp Observer a few days ago found that the what are called MX records, these are mail exchange records. It's what email addresses use to point to the correct direction. So when I send you an email, it goes to you and not a stranger. MX records are unique. You can't point an MX, or it's hard to forge an MX record and point it in a different or a fake direction. And they found that these MX records around the protests related to the coronavirus stay-at-home orders appear to come from one or a very small group of individuals, no matter what the states are. So, for example,
online and disinformation, Dan. But the fact that since January there have been a spike in domain names related to COVID-19, how do you regulate that, and what does that mean exactly, Dan?
Well, you can't really regulate it, nor should you really regulate it. Almost anybody can go and register or purchase a domain. We use domain name registrations as kind of a lagging indicator to understand the scale of an event. It doesn't have to be a crisis. It could be something like the Super Bowl. Is this year's Super Bowl more popular than last year's? By domain name registrations. It's not the only indicator that we use, but it's one that's pretty good and at least helps us understand some trends about why and how popular a particular trend is. So the coronavirus trend, again, using this data obtained through Recorded Future, the domain name registrations were off the charts. And many of these, a larger portion than normal, used what, again, we call proxy registration. So it was difficult to ascertain the domain name owners. Now, there are perfectly legitimate reasons for not wanting your name associated with a domain, but the large scale here and the forensics that indicate China would show that, look, there certainly are some actors here who are involved in setting up sites that could have some bad purposes. Maybe these are just scammers trying to make a buck through the advertising or selling fake cures. Maybe they're people running affiliate marketing sites. These are kind of advertising blogs. Or maybe they are bad actors trying to sow propaganda and discord.
But this reaction video replays the pandemic video virtually in full, adding commentary that fails to clearly debunk the claims. However, at 42 minutes long, verifying that this kind of video violates YouTube's policies is more nuanced than simply identifying a cut and dried copy. The original video features Judy Mikovits, a controversial former medical researcher who repeats conspiracy theories about the coronavirus pandemic, including the idea wearing a mask could make you sick because it could expose you to your own reactivated coronavirus expressions. Mikovits comments conflict with advice from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which says everyone should wear a face cover to protect others in case you're infected with the virus that causes COVID-19. Suggesting that wearing a mask can make you sick could lead to imminent harm, so we're removing the video, a Facebook spokesperson said in a statement. Mikovits, a vocal critic of Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's leading expert on infectious diseases, also suggested the virus had been engineered, saying it wasn't a natural occurrence. Scientists widely believe the virus jumped from animals to human beings, and the U.S. intelligence community took the unusual step of publicly saying it believed the virus wasn't man-made or genetically modified. The video includes allegations that coronavirus deaths are higher than they should be because doctors are being incentivized to say their patients died from the virus to get money from a national health insurance program. There is no evidence that case numbers are being inflated. A YouTube spokesman said the company will remove videos that include medically unsubstantiated diagnostic advice for COVID-19. Pandemic videos racked up a combined 4.7 million views on YouTube on Monday and Tuesday, according to BuzzSumo, a social media tool. Twitter said it was blocking the hashtags #plague of corruption and #pandemic-movie from its trending section. Mikovits tweeted a separate video in which she urged President Donald Trump to end the lockdown and stop requiring people to wear masks, calling the face coverings dangerous. Twitter said Mikovits' tweet didn't violate its rules against harmful coronavirus misinformation but said the link to her video was marked as unsafe, which limits its spread. Twitter displays a notice that posts may contain potentially sensitive content depending on each user's settings. The video Mikovits shared had more than 1 million views on YouTube and is currently still up. Twitter also marked a link to the documentary's website as unsafe. Twitter said it wasn't removing the links because users are refuting claims made in the pandemic video and the links serve as context. The full pandemic video could be found on Twitter as recently as late Thursday afternoon without having to click on an external link. Twitter said parts of the video may violate its rules but didn't offer more details. Keeping the video off social media has proven to be a game of content moderation whack-a-mole for tech firms. Social networks have been trying to combat misinformation by directing users to more trustworthy sources including the CDC and the World Health Organization. Mickey Willis, the filmmaker behind Pandemic, said in an email that he doesn't plan to appeal the takedowns of the videos, but added that he was working on a strategy to bypass the gatekeepers. The producers of the video have encouraged viewers to download a copy of the video and upload it to social media platforms.
Thanks for watching Homebizbillionaire, your global entertainment. If you like it, please subscribe our channel for latest news and movies.